Welcome to the Jboy Show, hosted by Jake Crain, the fastest growing sports show in the nation.
I'm Coach Hugh Freeze.
This is Super Bowl champion Brandon Graham.
Hey, this is DJ Shockley, and you're watching.
And thanks for watching the Jboy Show.
It's Saturday, so you know what that's time for. It's the Saturday Spotlight. Got a great guest. You're going to know who he is if you haven't already seen him on the screen. Mr. Josh Snead from SEC Shorts, one of the funniest people out there, especially when it comes to sports and comedy, mixing that in one. Excited to get to him, but first, got to give a shout out to betonline.ag. Y'all know the deal. Head over there. The sign-up bonuses are unbelievable. If you sign up right now, you get 50% off. We got Major League Baseball playing their 755-game regular season schedule, getting through that as we get to October. We got the NBA playoffs winding down, whether it's teasers, pleasers, game props, team props. If you want to bet on Quidditch, they probably got it on there at some point. I would go Gryffindor and the points, but that's just me. But head over to betonline.ag today and tell them that Jboy sent you. All right. Well, without further ado, Mr. Josh Snead from SEC Shorts, a connoisseur of many things. Josh, it's great to have you on, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I just now looked around. Like, I just moved into this house. So I just looked to see that it looks like I'm in like I'm being kept in a bunker somewhere.
Well, listen, blink twice if you need some help.
You know what? This is just a poorly decorated room. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, you know, it looks about like mine does. I'm not one for, there's really not a lot of Martha Stewart in me, I guess you could say. But no, man, it's exciting to get you on. And like I said, I have questions for you and all that. But when you started this, I mean, what kind of gave you the initiation to start it? What was the thought? Because it's just taken off like wildfire, and you guys have continued to grow as you continue to do this.
Yeah. So we started when Feinbaum started doing his TV show, and he was letting fans submit videos. And we thought, instead of just like fan rants, it'd be cool if we like wrote sketches and filmed them. My buddy Robert Clay, who started these with me, he went to film school, so he's got a good idea of like how to put story together. So and I've always been a huge fan of comedy and sketch comedy. So we just it's just right two dudes coming together and decided that we just want to be on TV, and that's how it all started. So we just started sending them like a year's worth of just free videos, just doing them every week, and they were nice enough to air them for us. And so by the end of that year, people had offered to like sponsor us and like pay us to do them. So
yeah, no doubt. And again, they're hilarious. And me and you were talking before the show about the Auburn basketball one, where the guy goes back in time and tells everybody Auburn's going to the Final Four, and they end up getting the insane asylum to come out and grab him. And listen, that's 100% true. Like, if that happened and you went back in time, that would 100% happen. Is there one that, and I know you love all of them, and they're like your baby, and you try and love them all equally, but is there one that kind of stands out above the others that you were like, this was our Citizen Kane?
Right. So first of all, there's like, I don't like probably over half of them. And it's because, we're kind of putting them together as we go. And so a lot of times they don't come out the way we envisioned them, even though, it's because we've got 15 hours to come up with the idea, execute it, edit it, cast it, all that stuff. So sometimes it doesn't come out the way I want. But I do have some favorites. There are some, there was an Ole Miss goalpost one. Yeah. There was a barbershop quartet one we did a couple summers ago, where a barbershop quartet shows up to talk trash for you. There was like a Nicholas Sparks movie trailer one we did that I really liked. The It's a Wonderful Life one we did last year, I liked that one. The Capture the Flag one we did last year was fun.
That looked like it was fun.
Yeah, we did a murder mystery one for ESPN one year. I also like, usually once a year we'll pick an inanimate object and do a fake documentary about it. Like we did one about the Nick Saban Coke bottle. We did one this past year about Lane Kiffin's clipboard. We've just done a couple like random objects. I like when we do that too. That's pretty.
Yeah, no, and you guys always do a good job of mixing it up. You guys hit, many different schools throughout the SEC. Do you tend to get, not blowback? I know you guys get great reviews on your videos, but do you ever get people that are like legitimately pissed that you made fun of their school, like hit you up like, man, that's really not how we are, whatever. I just, and there's people that are like that, but do you get that at all?
Yeah. So for the most part, SEC fans know like what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we don't ever like go after players really.
No, y'all do a good job of not making it personal.
Yeah. So people don't get too mad. Usually if we're making fun of you, it's more like, this is what it feels like to be a fan of your team, not necessarily like you suck and your team suck.
Yeah.
So it's more the blowback we get are all from like out of conference teams who don't know who we are, and they don't know. There was a Oklahoma, like I can't, whoever throttled Oklahoma like a couple years ago in the playoffs. We made a video where their championship hopes go to live on a farm because they're dead. So it was like it's explaining to their little kid that her hopes of going to the championship game have gone to live on a farm. Well, we got all these like hate messages from Oklahoma fans who'd seen it because I guess it kind of like a lot of people saw the video or whatever. And a lot of Oklahoma fans reached out and were like, how dare you involve your children in a video like this? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Like
grow up, Peter Pan.
She's not even they thought that I was like a dad who had like made my family be in a video about like how much he hates Oklahoma or something. I don't know. But they don't know who we are. So they're just like, who are these idiots and why would they commit this much time to doing this?
No, that's and again, you know how people are. But I guess I could see if you didn't know, kind of who it was throughout the SEC, why I guess you could probably think that. But again, my brain doesn't work like that. But Josh, I got to ask you, man, and you probably don't get, these questions a ton, but going into 2021, I mean, is it Bama and Georgia for you in the SEC championship right now? I mean, I know Georgia in the East is about as safe as a bet as you're going to get, but it could be a little interesting in the West.
Yeah, it could. Like, you never know. There's always, with injuries, with, you never know. You never know when a team is going to gel and take off. Like I don't think anyone expected LSU to just go berserk the other year. So it's kind of precarious where you're like, you don't know. I don't know. I don't know who to pick basically. Yeah. But if I had to, Alabama, Georgia would be it. I think Florida and Texas A&M are two also interesting teams to keep an eye on.
I think Texas A&M is very interesting. We've talked about that a lot on the show. Jimbo's building a monster over there.
Yeah. And, Miles Brennan's coming back for LSU. So I think that'll be interesting because I think he's really good. So
we'll see. LSU, it's been an interesting offseason for them, but typically they do better when the chips are down. So I kind of, lean toward that way. I got to finish in second in the West. I wonder, Josh, just thinking about it, because there's so much content for you to make videos about, and it's evergreen. It's always coming. Will there ever be a video about when inevitably Nick Saban takes the form of a robot body so he can coach for the next 200 years? Because I really think we may have a Will Smith iRobot situation, and Saban will be the first 200-year-old coach.
Oh, I would love it. When he got his hip replacement, I was like, while you're in there, replace everything with cyborg parts and just let him coach until time ends. Because I mean, I don't think he wants to like retire and sit on the lake. I think he would hate having a TV job. So, and if he was like your quality control guy, he's not just going to sit back and be like, well, I've got a few ideas. That's not who he is. So I think he's just going to keep coaching until he can't move anymore. So why not just replace all of his bones and organs with, wherever we are at on the edge of that they need to be using him as the guinea pig.
Yeah, well, if they can do a hologram of Tupac at a concert and it look real, I mean, what's to say that, 75 years down the road, Nick Saban won't just be hologramically walking. I don't even know if that's a word, hologramically. We'll Google it later. I don't have my thesaurus next to me, but hologramically just walking up and down the sidelines, berating people. It's be good though with AJ McCarron. If he tries to slap somebody on the butt with a hologram, I guess it'll just kind of go through. You just have to mentally get the point. But no, it's going to be interesting, man. And what do you think, Josh? I mean, obviously NIL just passed, which, the world didn't end. I got up this morning and there wasn't, an invasion of aliens or comets heading toward the earth. What do you think about this NIL, man? It's pretty.
I think it's awesome. It made me think though of like, who would have wanted to sponsor my college career? Obviously, I didn't play sports, but it made me think of like, who would want to just sponsor my everyday life when I was in college? And I was thinking it would probably be whoever made those beaded necklaces.
You were rocking those.
The Texaco across the street from where I lived, I ate a lot of calzones there, so I'm sure they would love to probably sponsor me.
Yeah.
And of course, Jägermeister, who got me through a lot of good and bad times. So
yeah, they've told me I've drank Jaeger before. I just really don't remember it. When I have, if it was me, it'd probably be Totina pizza rolls. I don't know, Skull or something like that. That probably would have got me through it. There's probably some other
like I'm going to class every day in a ramen jersey, just like I have to work it. Like ramen is asking me to work ramen into all my casual conversations.
Yeah, you answer questions in class. You're like, yes. I'll be like, first off, ramen's great if you put this seasoning on it. But no, I believe George Washington was a founding father of that. No, man, it's funny. If you really do think about some of the students and what they'd be sponsored by, it's going to be really interesting. I mean, especially in content creation, like me and you are in it, it really adds another space as well. But Josh, as we're kind of winding down, I know you guys are going to be at media days. When with your videos, I mean, is there a certain timeline you have when you post them? Is it each week? Is it one a month? Is it kind of what's y'all's timelines and chronological?
So right now in the off season, we'll do like 2 a month just to like keep the page fresh.
Yep.
And then once the season starts, we do one every week for our page and then another one every week for ESPN. So we'll do 2 a week every week until the championship game.
Okay, I got you.
And the one for our page goes out Monday mornings, and the ones for ESPN air Saturday mornings during SEC Nation on ESPN or SEC Network.
I gotcha. And everybody, I'll let you drop that plug here at the end as well. But my last question for you, Josh, and it's kind of a random one, and I want your opinion on it because I'm looking around and I'm looking at the landscape. And I'm wondering if we will ever have super conferences in college football. I know this was kind of a sidebar random question. Would you like a super conference? Let's say if the SEC and the ACC merged into this big Death Star, I think you'd have to have somebody walk around in the Emperor's cloak or whatever from Star Wars. Do you think we may be headed toward that with all this stuff?
I think we're headed towards wherever the money's at, to be honest with you.
You're exactly. Josh Snead, ladies and gentlemen, exactly right.
I because I think the college football or NCAA or like college football, they saw how much money basketball makes just on the tournament. And so they were like, we need to get a 12-team tournament. Like,
we want a tournament.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it might ruin it for a lot of the smaller teams, but every change they make only ever helps the bigger teams anyway. So
yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And then real quick before I let you plug your stuff, who would make more money in NIL nowadays, Cam Newton or Johnny Manziel?
Johnny Manziel, because there's nothing he won't do.
Yeah,
Cam Newton, I'm sure there was, because do you follow Johnny Manziel on Instagram?
I do.
So I guess he's trying to sell like these like beer bong things or something. So it's just him Sounds going right. out every night like, yeah, dude, bong it.
Yeah, sounds like college.
Yeah. I guess he's turned it into a lifestyle. So so he's already doing it, like the level at which a college player would endorse something. So yeah, I would probably say Johnny Manziel, and he would just every day would be something different. I think Cam would pick like, one big brand like,
Gatorade or something.
Gatorade, yeah, and just do those. I think Johnny Manziel was like, there's nothing I won't do.
I'll take all the sponsors.
Yeah, like what vape ads? Yeah, I'll do.
Bo Peep's Gentlemen's Club, sign me up. Put on the jersey.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it. But no, Josh, man, I appreciate you joining us, dude. Would love to do this. We get closer to the season as well. I know you guys are still pumping out content like you talked about earlier. Where can everybody find these videos? Because they're great stuff. They're hilarious and they're relative and they're current and they have to deal with current things.
Yeah, so if you just Google SEC Shorts, it'll pop up on whatever social media you're at or YouTube. And then if you are watching football on Saturday mornings, you can find us on SEC Nation on the SEC Network every Saturday morning before the games start.
Definitely, man. Well, Josh, I appreciate your time. Keep up the great work, man. I love the stuff. Obviously going to tag you in it when we drop this, man, but I do appreciate your time. And listen, like I said, blink twice and I'll send Liam Neeson over there. Apparently he's got a special set of skills. He can get you out of there.
Nope, this is my home. I live here.
I'm just messing with you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys joining us as well. Subscribe, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Go to jboyshow.com. Grab some merch. For Josh Snead from SEC Shorts, this is Jboy, and we're gone.
The Jboy Show is produced by David Cohn, Technical Director Dave Hammock, Creative Director David Culbertson, Audio Engineer Feyzan Shareef, Production Assistants Blain, Crain, and Kyle Orr, Executive Producers Jake Crain, Vince Thompson, Steve Chamberlain, and David Cohn. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website, thejboyshow.com, for updates regarding our newest apparel and merch designs. Win the water cooler with The Jboy Show.